Bonjour Year 9, welcome to your first online French lesson. Now you might have noticed that the title here at the top of this slide says Key Stage 3 to GCSE Transition Lesson 3. If you haven't done Lessons 2 and Lessons 1, which I've sent home over the last couple of months, please send me an email. That's rcunningham@johnfernley.org and I'll send you through what you've missed from Lessons 1 and 2. This is Mrs. Cunningham, by the way. So today, we're looking at numbers 0 to 100, grammar to do with giving you age and telling the time, and phone numbers in French. There we go. So, there is a video, which I don't have time to show you, of somebody, it's a bit of a joke video, counting to 100 in French. And it's called Counting to 100 in French with a New York City cabbie. Obviously, the school-friendly version, please. So you could give that a watch, and he explains in his own words how to count to 100 in French. We'll start just with the numbers 1 to 16 though, which should, fingers crossed, be familiar to you. But if there's a couple you keep getting muddled up, keep practicing. Use look, cover, write, check. Look at them, cover them up, write them down, check if you got it right. So, very simply, all I want you to do is to read these 5 speech bubbles here and to tell me all of the people from the oldest to the youngest. Pause the screen here before I show you the answers. So the answers you should have are Laurent, Sandra, Mathilde, Claire, and then Charles. Because je suis Laurent, j'ai 2 ans de plus que Sandra. I'm 2 years older than Sandra. Sandra says, je me prénomme Sandra, my first name is Sandra, je viens d'avoir 14 ans, I've just turned 14. Then we have Mathilde, je m'appelle Mathilde, je vais bientôt avoir 13 ans, I will soon be 13. Then we have Claire, je m'appelle Claire, j'ai 11 ans, I'm Claire, I'm 11. And moi c'est Charles, j'ai 8 ans, Charles is 8 years old. Please notice that in French, remember, we say j'ai 11 ans. I have 11 years. Never je suis 11 ans. Never. Always j'ai. I have 11 years. Okay. So that's the numbers 1 to 16. From this point onwards, we have to do a little bit of counting sometimes. So, number 17 is 17, literally 10-7. And so 18 and 19 are 10-8 and 10-9 in French. 20, which is 20, has its own number. And then 21 is 21. All the ones that end in 1, 31, 41, 51, 61, all have the word and in the middle. 21, 31, 41, etc. And 22, 23, 24 is just 22, 23, 24, with a hyphen in the middle. So these numbers here, they all have their own number. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, just like we do in English. So to practice these numbers, I'm giving you a bit of a speaking challenge here. I've given you a reminder down the side of what all the months are of the year in French. And what I want you to do is out loud, which I know is a bit embarrassing, out loud, answer me the question, quelle est la date de ton anniversaire? When is your birthday? We're looking down at the bottom of the screen now. For example, mon anniversaire, c'est le 7 mars. My birthday is the 7th of March. I was about to say Mars. So, out loud, I want you to answer that question, and then, if you could, go around your house and ask anybody who you live with, quelle est la date de ton anniversaire? I'm sure they'd really appreciate an opportunity to practice some French, and you can tell them what their birthday is in French. So, now we get on to the slightly more complicated counting. If at any point this is going too fast, just pause the video, make your own notes, make as many notes as you wish, and keep repeating it and going back. The video might help a bit, or it might not. Numbers from 70 to 100. French people love maths. So the number 70 is not its own number. 70 is made up of 60 and 10. 70. I've put this column in here to show you the maths that we're doing. 71 is 71, 60 and 11. 72, 73, 74, 60, 12, 60, 13, 60, 14. In English, obviously, people would look at you like you were mad if you started counting 60, 10, 60, 11, 60, 12, but that's what they do in French. And it means 70, 71, 72. When we get to 80, we swap to multiplication for some reason. The number 80 is 80, 4 20s. 81 is 81, 4 20s, 1. That goes all the way up to 90, which therefore has to be 90, 4 20s and 10. 90 times together 4 by 20 and add 10, you get 90. 90 is how they say 90 in French. 91 is how they say 91. All the way up to 99, which is 99. Literally 4 20s, 10, 9. So 98 would be 98. 4 20s, 10 and 8. If you need to pause that and think about it for a while, absolutely do. It's also what I'm wanting you to practice in your key facts book this week. Practicing these big numbers. So to practice listening to these big numbers, you've got to hear 2 telephone numbers. Each telephone number is repeated twice. And in French, there are 10 digits in a phone number, but you hear them in pairs. So 02, 45, 36, etc. But obviously they'll be in French. There's an example. 07, 41, 56, 85, 74 is how you will hear the numbers. And just a bit of a cultural bonus there. Just like in Leicester, for example, the phone code is 0115. In different areas of France, it's the first 2 numbers that tell you which area is phoning. So let's have a listen.
1. Mon numéro de téléphone, c'est le 01 26 48 14 72 1. Mon numéro de téléphone, c'est le 01 26 48 14 72 2. Mon numéro de téléphone, c'est le 02 33 54 97 68. 2. Mon numéro de téléphone, c'est le 02 33 54 97 68.
If you need to go back and listen to that again, not a problem, just rewind the video back, but we're going to do the answers now. So these are the phone numbers that you should have written down, and if you made any mistakes, go back in the video and listen to it again and see whether you've worked out where you've made a listening mistake there. So that is a whirlwind 0 to 100 in numbers. If you want a little bit more practice of that, go to the BBC Bite Size website where they've got lots of activities to do with numbers. We are going to move on now, once you've read our objectives for today, to talk about telling the time in French. So, the simple way is just like English. We say il est, which means it is, then we give the hour, 10 heures, 10 o'clock, 1 heure, 1 o'clock, 9 heures, 9 o'clock, etc. And then you just add on the number of minutes you want. 9 heures 20 is 9:20. 9 heures 40 is 9:40. So you say the hour, and then you just add on minutes. Here's some key phrases that I would like you to copy down, please. Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? And then there's the examples of how to say it is 1 o'clock, midday, midnight, quarter past, half past, and quarter to. We'll come back to talking about quarter to in a bit more detail in a minute. I want to see whether you can work it out yourself. So pause the screen here, copy those down. So use that vocabulary to match a French sentence to the correct picture. Pause the screen here, go back to your notes if you need to, and then we'll do the answers. So, il est 5 heures, it's 5 o'clock. D. Il est midi, it's midday. C. Il est 11 heures moins le quart. It's 11 o'clock minus a quarter. That's picture B, quarter to 11. We'll come back and talk about that in a minute. Il est 8 heures. It's 8 o'clock. Picture F. Il est 1 heure et demie. 1:30 is picture A. Il est 3 heures et quart. It's 3:15. It's 3 o'clock and a quarter. Hopefully you got those right by using your notes. So, there's a lot of information to take in here. You might want to pause the slide after I've read it. So in French, just like we've been practicing, you can say it is 9 o'clock and 20 minutes. Il est 9h20. Il est 9h40. It is 9:40. Just like in English, 9:40 and 20 to 10 are the exact same time. So there's two ways to say it in English and there's two ways to say it in French. Very simply, you say the closest hour first, 1 heure, 2 heures, 3 heures, and then you either add minutes, 5, 10, 20, 25, or you take minutes away. So, il est means it is, 9 heures is 9, so you could say 9h20, which is 9:20, or you could say 9 heures moins 20. Now that time is 8:40, because 9 o'clock minus 20 makes 8:40. As I say, you might need to pause the slide, go back and read this one more time, or listen to me explain it one more time. But this clock here, adding minutes 2 on this side, adding minutes past, so il est 9h05, it is 9:05, il est 9h10, it is 9:10, or you can take minutes away. Il est 9 heures moins 5 is 9 o'clock minus 5 minutes, means it's 5 to 9. So, here's the same picture, but I've just put all the information in one place. On the outside in black are the numbers of the hours, and inside are 5, 10, 15 or quarter, 20, 25, 30 or and a half, 35 or minus 25, 40 or minus 20. I know that's a lot of information to take in. I want you to try this activity here. Tell me what these times are in French. Pause the clock now, pause the video now, and try those times. I want you to mark your own work, please, using these answers here. And if you've made any mistakes, go back and practice. I'm thinking especially about the ones where you are minusing time. For example, letter E, il est 6 heures moins le quart, is 6 o'clock minus a quarter, is 5:45. If you've put AM or PM, I'm not really too fussed at the minute. Don't worry about it. The French do use the 24-hour clock a bit more than we do. Your final activity for today, which you're going to have to write out on your sheet, wherever you write in, is to use the times in the boxes here to fill in the missing words. So fill in the times. And underneath, you see this would have been a printout for you. Underneath, you're going to fill in the English. Il est something quand je me réveille. I want you to fill in the time and then tell me what the whole sentence means in English. Your challenge is to write about your own daily routine using times in French. That's all we have time for. I know it was a whirlwind. Email me if you have any questions or rewind the video. Au revoir, see you next week.